Hello guys and girls, Kieran here, also known as Cullen, doing this for the first time on my backup account, because my primary account is too scared to touch an Oregairu review. And my god, I picked a good episode to go to this backup account. I am so glad I'm going to be able to throw tons of pictures in this, because there was just so much amazing artwork in this episode. This episode was so intense. So intense. Everything came to a conclusion, kind of. I mean, everything that they actually need to do still needs to be done. But between the request club, everything came to a close, and it was awesome. So I'm going to throw this spoiler flag up, and we're going to go straight into that final scene like the last episode. For one thing, like the first thing I want to point out, since I pointed out the way that Oregairu was getting the sunset-y colours of orange and reds, and Yukinon was getting the dark colours, the blacks and the blues. And in this final moment, when Oregairu and Yukinon made up and became friends again and, brought the whole club back to life again, the sky was between sunset and twilight. There were streaks of orange, and there was also blue and dark colours and light colours, and it was, between the two. How much more artistic and metaphorical can you get? They finally came together. It's awesome. I can't believe I've just managed to say that much without even going into anything that was actually said. This episode was intense. So, yeah, they finally made up, and it was because Hickey finally had the courage to actually talk and try to say what he wanted. And he still couldn't say what he wanted. He still kind of held back his words. He was crying. Hickey was crying. And he still doesn't even quite understand what he wants. He said he wants something genuine. He wants something that's real. And that's what Yukinon has always been saying, that their relationship hadn't been real. And she's kind of right. Like, with the way that they were sitting in the club and Oregairu was constantly on her phone, Yukinon was constantly reading a book, Hickey was doing his own thing. They had been kind of faking a friendship for a while. And it was only thanks to Hiratsuka-sensei that things got sorted out. Like, Hiratsuka-sensei pointed out to Hickey, and this is something that Yukinon doesn't understand either, that the reason you can have so much concern for someone and want to show that fake kind of friendship is because the actual friendship is important to you. And that's like downgrading what the sensei said a lot. Because she said a ton of deep stuff about how to like someone and to care for someone is in essentially hurting them and being okay to hurt them, having the will to hurt them. But I mean, I don't quite agree with that. Like, I see what she's saying, where you generally hurt people by having different views from each other. And so just by being around somebody else, you're going to end up hurting one another because your ideals will clash and you can't fully understand anyone else. So there's that. But, like, there are so many benefits to friendship as well. So yeah, I guess I get what she's saying. Being around other people, being close to them, wanting to be around them will end up hurting them. And so it is having the will to hurt another person, being close to someone. And Hickey didn't have that will to hurt them. He was trying too hard to defend the people close to him. But because of that, he ended up destroying a lot of people that weren't close to him, like Rumi, like Rumi's other friends. Every time he fulfilled a request, he was destroying other people and just not caring about it. And I kind of want to throw out something here, but I think it'll get a very bad response. Is to say that maybe Yukinon and Hickey have emotional development issues. Like, they just can't speak their minds properly. They don't understand what they're feeling. They were repressed because of how damaged they were by the things that happened to them while they were younger. All of the bad relationships they had while they were younger, they are completely repressed and unable to talk to one another. And unable to talk to the people around them either. And that's why I think when Yukinon says she doesn't understand, when it comes to emotions, she really doesn't understand. And that's just insane. And that's why Hiratsuka Sensei sent Hiki to the friendship club, because he had the same problem. And she also sent him to talk to them today because she knew that Yukinon needs help with her problems. And Hiki was changing. He was getting to the point where he could talk. He really wanted to stay with the club. And that's why he broke down and cried, because he just wanted to defend the club so very much. That whole scene was just so intense. I mean, it's like the things we've all been theorizing for this whole series actually, the last 8 episodes, everything finally came together for this. Hiki realizing how badly he'd been doing. All of the whole thing about everyone not wanting to change their relationships. Yukinon's incredibly broken emotional state. And I'm just going to say, mad props to Yui Gahama. Like, Yui was just doing her best. She went against Yukinon. And that is something Yui would never have been able to do before. It was something seemingly impossible. Whenever Yukinon and Hiki had a fight, Yui would just like hide in a corner and stay silent. She'd try to say things, but she'd freeze up. So just like Hiki, she had a moment in this episode where she broke out of her shell. So much stronger. Like, if we think about the first season, when she couldn't even talk to that group of friends she hardly cares about. I mean, she cares about them now. But back then, she didn't. She just wanted to be one of the popular girls. And she couldn't talk to them. And then she started talking to Hiki and Yui Gahama, and she started to love them. And then she couldn't talk to them either because she cared about them too much. She couldn't argue with them. And then in this episode, she finally fought with Yukinon. And if she hadn't done that, Yukinon would have just sent Hiki away, and Hiki would have been like, yep, that's logical, I have to agree with that. It feels like if there wasn't Yui Gahama around, well, it is. If Yui Gahama wasn't around, they would never have stayed together for like maybe more than 3 episodes. Oh, this whole episode was insane. Why does anybody think anyone other than Yui Gahama is the top girl in this show? Like, maybe Yukinon's going to have more moments after this that the light novel readers know about, but my god, Yui Gahama is just so sweet and so perfect and so caring. She really saved everyone again. I mean, Hiratsuka Sensei really helped as well, but Yui Gahama really saved the day in this one. And the way she grabbed Hiki and said, we need to go after Yukinon, this is the first time I've seen her like this. And then even freaking Iroha helped out. Like, she grabbed Hiki and said, no, she's upstairs, don't go running downstairs. And Hiki could have just, like, ignored Iroha and ran straight past her. But he's starting to realize he has to be nice to other people kind of thing. Like, the old Hiki probably would have just ignored Iroha and ran straight past. But he's slowly starting to realize what his effects on other people are. And starting to understand emotions and feelings and all of that. Things that he just hasn't understood before, and things that he's even said in this episode he doesn't understand. He didn't know what he wants, but what he wants is he wants proper friends. He wants Yui Gahama and Yukinon to be his proper, real friends. And I think Yukinon wants that too. But she can't really admit that either, because again, they're both emotionally damaged. I don't want to say they have Asperger's, because I don't. Like, I'm not a psychiatrist, but those are signs of emotional development problems. I know that much. Seriously, this anime is intense. If it actually turns out that they do have proper psychological problems, it would be so incredible. Because it really does feel like it, the way Yukinon keeps saying, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's properly suggesting autism spectrum kind of shit. This episode was just intense. I don't even know if I want to give it a 10 out of 10, an 11 out of 10, or a perfect, or whatever would just be better. Hiratsuka Sensei's scene was amazing. I loved when Hiki said, you know, if they're not getting married to you, if your partners aren't seeing you as marriage material, it's because they're blind. And did the whole inner monologue thing as if I was 10 years younger, I definitely would have fallen madly in love with this woman. It's like, wow. And it's good because Hiratsuka Sensei really is awesome and she's so caring towards her students. These two students at least. Not sure about the rest of them, but definitely to Yukinon and Hiki, she's caring. And it sounds like she has a past that maybe involves something just as messed up. And what I'm assuming from that is that since she went to school with Haruno, I can imagine Haruno had some of those problems growing up as well. And maybe Hiratsuka Sensei couldn't deal with them like she should have been able to, and that's why she's been looking after Yukinon and trying to help her out with her problems. So yeah, just every other scene in this between the main group was incredible. Like I said, the artistic choice to blend the twilight and the sunset colours in the sky throughout that final scene was incredible. Everyone crying was so sweet. I do want to point out, I didn't cry. I did not cry. It was emotional, but it wasn't sadly emotional. I'd only cry at like the proper sad things. This was like happy kind of emotion. I mean, I was really sad and really like, no, when Yukinon was refusing the offer. And then I was really annoyed when Hiki was sad and didn't chase after Yukinon straight away. And then Yugahama pulled him along and I was like, yes! So like all of this episode was getting me going like, yes, go! Stop being such wusses! And it was awesome. Incredible episode, seriously. Perfect. And I can't even imagine how the Christmas event is going to go after this. But now that Hiki finally realizes what he wants to do and how he wants to move forward, I really want to see where this anime goes from here on. I really want to see them try to help Tsurumi and fix the Christmas event and do things in a way that actually works from now on instead of damaging people. So, yeah, I can't say anything else. It's amazing. Please go to the comment section. Tell me what you thought about this episode. Tell me about everything. Anything that was missed out from the light novel. Anything that can shed more light would be awesome. Just incredible. Thank you guys for listening. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Especially since this is a new channel and it'll probably need that. Subscribe if you haven't and you want to see more. And I will see you guys next time.